Honestly, one of my favorite things to do at Liberty is teaching foals how to draw, how to connect with people. And this is our little 2-week-old Rafi. He's a little colt and an Arabian. He was born at our farm. He's just a beautiful, curious, and just amazing little munchkin. And we love to start Liberty and we love to start halter training as soon as we can, as soon as they're confident enough to walk, to get up on their own. We like to start it with that connection, and we like to allow them to connect with us. And if you see here, I'm just asking little Rafi to go forward, and I want him to go forward and to the left. Okay, he doesn't have to gallop around or anything like that. He just has to understand to move forward. And as you can see, my hand's in my pocket. I'm just using my right hand just to add a little energy. And as soon as he stops and turns and looks, I release. And I let him relax and understand that when you turn and face, all the other little things go away. Turning and facing is the answer. And then I'm going to step away, and I'm going to see if he'll come with me. Obviously, he didn't here because he doesn't understand what it is that I want. But I must first ask him forward, get his feet moving, and then once he turns and looks, I step away. Foals are so curious. They have no clue who us people are when they're born, but we can teach them how to interact with us, how to connect with us through Liberty before we start worrying about halter breaking and getting them used to the halter. And I love this because with Liberty training at the very beginning of their education, they learn that when pressure situations come, they turn, they look, and they think. And then they ask us a question, what it is that they need to do. And so here, we are just asking him forward. We're asking him to think and connect with us. And as soon as he gives us a little try, as soon as he thinks about turning and facing us and taking a step forward, we're going to step back because that is the answer. And I just love that because sure, he's not doing it perfectly, but I love the forward here. I love that he's thinking about just staying to the left. And then I'm trying to draw his eye by stepping back in the direction that he's going and asking him in. When he turns and looks at me, I'm going to step away. It's almost like starting a dance. And your partner doesn't know how to dance yet, but if you teach them the tools, you give them the flow, you teach them the rhythm, they'll be turning to be really amazing at dance partners. And that's what I'm trying to do with little Rafi here. And as you can tell, I'm just keeping it really soft, really sweet. His mom's in the background saying, hey, untie me here. But as soon as he gives me an effort to connect, and putting both eyes at me and turning and facing me is an effort to connect, I step back. And I step back because it releases the pressure. And when I say pressure, me standing there in that pin with him is pressure. And when he thinks about releasing that pressure and stepping towards, okay, that is the right answer. And this is going to lead to when we start putting a halter on him and we ask him to follow a feel. Because if he already knows that the answer is come to you, then he already has the most important part. Is coming to you will relieve the pressure, whether it's at Liberty, whether it's with the rope, whether it's giving to the bridle. Giving and looking and asking to what the human wants is so very important. And so we just wash, rinse, repeat here until he turns and steps towards us after the first time, meaning I want him to stop, turn, come towards us, and then I want him to take an extra step towards us after he stops. And that's what we're looking for here to quit. And we keep these sessions with these little young, foals pretty short, 5 minutes or so, just so that they get the idea. And when they get the idea, right, we're going to stop and come back. So as you can tell there, he turned, he faced me, he came in with me a couple steps, and then we came back and relaxed. So once we have that draw, we're then going to introduce the first touch. And the same thing is I'm first going to ask him to come in towards me, and then I'm going to see if I can lift my hand and touch him on his neck, near his withers. And now, again, we spent a lot of time with this little Munchkin, so he knows that we're not dangerous. We're not going to hurt him because we spent a lot of time with him. But it's only he comes up to us and touches us. But we're now teaching him what it's like when we can touch him. And as you can tell, he's not a feral horse, right? So I'm not going to treat him like a feral horse. I want him to turn, face, step into me, and then I want him to learn that I can step into him while he is there and allows me into his space. Not just when he wants to, but when I ask to get into his bubble. And anytime he moves forward, I just keep my hand there. I just don't add any more pressure. I don't wave my hands more. I don't wave my hands less. I'm just keeping my hands there, trying to control that direction to the left. Okay? And then as soon as he stops, I'm going to stop. When I stop, I go and pet him, but I first let him sniff and just ask, hey, can I come in? When he goes away, again, I don't make a big deal of it. I just follow him, because if I taught the draw the right way, then he's already going to think about coming into me. So if he's worried about the touch, I go back to the draw. I control that direction. I keep his feet moving. When he turns and looks and wants to connect, I release. And that time, when he allowed me to stay in that zone and pet him on the neck and really find that relaxation with him, I stepped away and he followed me because it felt good. He's not really afraid of me, but he doesn't know how to let me stay in his presence without feeling like I am entering his bubble and making sure that that's okay. Because again, he has to be okay with me entering his bubble, because we have spent a lot of time with him entering ours. In any relationship, we need both. We need two-sided communication. And right now, he's already learned that we are okay as people. But now we're teaching him, when we ask a question, it's okay, and how to give us the answer that we're looking for. All right, so that was really nice. I was able to walk up to him a couple times, pet him, and then walk away. So here I'm going to just ask him to do the same thing. I'm just going to ask him to draw. Beautiful. He thought about leaving there for a split second. He came back in, and now he's sniffing me. I'm allowing him to sniff, and then I'm going to go in. I'm going to pet him near the withers on that neck, and I'm really focusing on that left side right now, because I don't want to go to the right side, because we're just working on one side at a time. So many times early on when we're teaching a horse something, we want to go from the left side to the right side, to the left side to the right side. And I just want to help him understand that when we're playing on the left, things are okay. And then once he learns the concepts of drawing to the left, letting me come and pet him to the left, then we will switch to go to the other side. Because if we switch now, going to the right, then we're going to be a little bit in trouble. So here we're going to introduce the rope. All right, so the rope should mean nothing more than just being something that is in my hands. And so I'm going to ask him to do the same thing. You see he's kind of nibbling at it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to pet him with it. If he runs away, I'm just going to keep that rope there until he looks at me, and then I'm going to step away. So I don't do anything different than I do with my hands. Okay, that rope again is just a tool. It's something that the horses are going to need to get used to for the rest of their lives, and I don't do anything different. As you can tell, whether it's from the touching to the draw, it's a process here. All right, I'm not doing anything different. All I'm doing is adding in a different obstacle for him to overcome, and now the obstacle is touching him with the rope. And that rope being able to swing over his back, swing over his neck, and him not be worried about it. But if I did it right, if I taught him to draw right, if I taught him to connect right, if I taught him to relax right, this won't be that big of a deal. And it's okay when our horses run away, because they learn that they can run away and not be bothered, but they can come back and find that relaxation with us. Okay? And I like to do this with Mama Tide, because then they're not just running around together. This is a really cool mama. She's great. She's confident. She teaches them a lot of great things. And she's just eating her nice little afternoon grain. But you see there, I went over, I rubbed him with that rope. He wanted to leave. And then he checked right back in. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Him to check in, be with me, understand that he can run away, but being with me, I would never do anything to hurt him. So as you can tell, I don't stay in those spaces very long. Okay, and he wants to back up. I just follow, I follow, I follow, I follow. He wants to gallop around here. I just leave that rope kind of over his back. If it slips off, not a big deal. Okay, and when he turns and looks at me, I'm going to stop. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Good boy. That's a big smile there because he learned already, and we just wash, rinse, repeat, that when he gets bothered, he turns, he looks, and he faces. Okay, if you get anything out of this video, we must teach our horses, young or old, that when they get bothered, they turn and they look at what they're afraid of, and then they think through the situation. Is it a time where they need to run away? Maybe. Is it a time they need to stand still? Maybe. Is it a time where they need to stand still for a little bit and engage more? Maybe. So it's important that we get our horses thinking, and that's what I'm trying to do with little Rafi here. Good boy. You see he's licking and chewing there. He's thinking and stepping. So I don't add anything that I think that's going to scare him so bad that he's not thinking anymore. So even though he's running away and leaving, he's still thinking. And then he's learning that he can come back in, and then I can enter his space with this scary little rope. So again, I'm not chasing him around. I'm just controlling that direction. I'm asking him to go to the left. He wants to hide behind mama. That's a common theme. And I just say, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Can we go back to the left side and try it again? So again, I ask him forward just like I would the first session. I have that rope in my hand. As soon as he turns and faces it, I release it. I go up to him. I see if I can pet him with it. And as soon as he allows me to pet him with that rope, and I didn't even get a very big touch, I brought it away. See, I'm bringing it to him. I'm petting him. Okay, as soon as he relaxes, I take it away. Really nice. Because it's not about going in there and petting him for a long time. It's just little by little. If I can do 1,000 repetitions of me walking away, walking to him, walking away, walking to him. It doesn't matter what I have in my hand. It could be a rope, it could be a flag, it could be a whip, it could be a tree trunk. It doesn't matter what it is. The horses need to understand that they trust us enough where we are not going to put them in a situation that's going to hurt them. Okay? So here, I just got a little bit longer rope because I am going to start asking him to start following a feel. And as you can tell, I want a rope that's long enough that it can reach the outside of whatever pen that I'm in. This stall is about 10 by 20. It's a folding stall. So I need a rope at least 20 feet long. So if he were to run away, okay, he won't hit the end of that rope and want to rear on me or flip over, okay? But he's already learned to draw to me. He's already learned to deal with touch. He's already learned to be okay with a rope. Now I'm going to ask him to come with me while feeling a little bit of pressure on that rope. And the reason I don't start with the rope on his nose, okay, is because I don't want that to be extra pressure. When something's on my horse's nose, that's a lot more pressure. So as you can tell, anytime he just even thinks about leaning towards me or stepping in with me or making any kind of move towards me, I release it. Okay, and I'm not pulling. I'm just holding, all right? I'm just going back and forth. That was really nice. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to pet on him. I'm going to make sure that rope's not too tight around his neck. As you can tell, it's pretty loose still. And so I'm just going to ask him to follow that feel. And little by little, he's going to unlock his feet. And if I did this liberty right, he already understands to connect with me. Good. So he had a little fight there, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And so then I go up to him, I pet him again, I make sure that rope isn't too tight. I rub on him, all right, let him smell me and let him find a lot of comfort. So after a little bit, he's going to start moving his feet forward towards me. And this doesn't take very long if we did our liberty right. If our horses know to follow us at liberty without the rope, it makes the rope that much easier because the rope is just adding a little pressure, but they already know the answer, and that answer is to come towards me. Anytime my horses get stuck, I go a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. You see how I'm going side to side? And that side to side changes the angle, which allows our horses to think about loosening those feet. Usually they get stuck in the shoulders. A lot of times horses give up their hind end pretty quickly, but they don't want to give up their shoulders, meaning they don't want to yield it. They want to turn left and right in the shoulder. So I really want to focus on getting him soft in the shoulder. You see how he's kind of turning? But if I did my liberty right, he already knows the answer has come to me. Good boy, good boy. And as soon as he makes those positive steps forward, I go and I rub him. Right? This is a really good way to help him not flip, not rear, right? Not bolt off and do something crazy, because I've already taught him without the rope that coming with me is the answer. And that's what makes this process so amazing, so drama-free, is it just teaches our horses before any of the extra pressure comes of the rope that coming to the human is the right answer. And he's getting a little stuck, but I don't make a big deal of it. I just pet on him, okay, and hold it. The biggest mistake I see people with ropes is they pull, but never pull a horse. Just lead the horse. Okay. So here we went ahead and started and added the halter. So again, the same concept. As I said earlier, I don't like starting with the halter because it adds a little bit more pressure with the rope on their nose. So this only comes after they are leading with the rope around their neck. Okay, because if not, that extra pressure around their nose can make them go over and backwards, and I do not want my horse to rear up and fall. So again, you see how I just go side to side. I'm keeping kind of my hands loose. I'm keeping steady pressure. Good. And as soon as he gives and yields a little bit, I release it. You see how my fingers are soft? It's so important that you don't add and pull and add extra pressure to what we're doing. We want the horses to be able to find comfort. We want horses to understand the answer and not this turning into a fight. Because if I turned this into a fight with this little guy, he would be happy to fight with me, and that's when we get in trouble with our young horses. So that was really nice. I'm just thinking about going side to side, going back and forth. It's not like we got to walk for a long time. We just need to walk a little bit. And you see a lot of times that people start with ropes behind their butt to drive them forward. Okay? And that's not a bad way to do it. This is just a different way that I found that works really well. To start them at liberty, then to the rope around their neck, then to the halter. And I haven't had a horse flip on me using this method because you already teach them to go forward. Okay, you already are teaching them that you are the answer. All that you're doing now is adding something around their head. But when horses know an answer, they want to give you that answer, even if it's a different circumstance. Okay, so good, bad, ugly. It's so important that we teach them that we are the comfort. And so I'm just starting to play a little bit without touching his legs and not making it a big deal. And just, you see, I'm just rubbing it there just a little bit. Okay, and so I want to be able to touch every single part of my horse's body and them to find relaxation and comfort with it. And I don't sit around and try to pet my horses on the legs or do these things for a long time. I just do a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I walk away. Okay, they have short attention spans, and I want them to continue to learn and not fight through it. All right, so again, he wants to pull. I don't pull back. I just hold. I step away from him, and then I'm going to see if I can go up and pet him. As you can see, I'm not adding tension. The rope is just looped around my wrist. Okay, and then I'm asking him to follow that feel. And each time we go back and forth, he gets a little bit softer. So one of the most important things I like to teach after I start with the halter is teaching them to pick up their feet. And I just start, they first must be comfortable with me just rubbing their leg up and down, and then I just see if I can pick up their feet, hold it for a couple seconds. When they're soft, I let it go. Okay, and their front feet usually are more difficult because most of their weight, 60% of their weight, is on their front end. Where their back end, they don't have to balance as much. As you can tell here with Rafi, his back feet are a lot easier. His front feet, he's trying to find his balance. So I just hold his front feet a little bit. If he walks away, I just walk with him, okay? And I make it not so much of a big deal. Good, hold it for a couple seconds. When he's soft, I drop it. Good boy. It doesn't take long to help educate your foal because they need to learn as soon as possible what it is that I want. So then I go to the front foot, I pick it up. When he's soft, I release it. So here he's starting to fight me a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but as soon as he thinks about getting soft and relaxed and find that balance, I put the foot back down. And I can do that 5, 6, 7 times in a row. But as soon as he gives me that effort, I put his foot down. Because that's the answer that I want him to know for the rest of his life. He's soft. He gets the right answer. I just hold. I follow him. I'm not adding any more pressure onto that neck rope. I'm keeping that neck rope loose. Yes, I hold. As soon as he's soft, I release. I just follow. Good. As soon as he's soft there, I put his foot down. Mama's not too worried. She's like, I know Patrick's got my back. So, again, I walk away. I walk him back, and then I'm going to go try it again until I can pick that foot up the first time without him wanting to brace. So, again, he wants to brace a little bit. I just hold. If for whatever reason he gets the foot out of my hand, I don't make a big deal of it. I go back up there, try it again. Good. He stopped his feet. I put it down, and then I walk away. So each time I'm teaching him to pick up his feet, but then afterwards I'm teaching him to continue to lead and continuing to develop good habits. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to help him understand that I'm going to pick up your leg. Yes, that's one step back. He gets soft. He's sniffing me. I let him down. That was beautiful. Okay, so then I'm going to go back again to that front foot. Yeah, that's it. As you can tell, each time he got more balanced, he got more confident, and he was more eager to learn. All right, so the last little exercise I want to teach him before I leave the stall is that when my horses run away, they need to know that they can bend around and come back. So I'm sure many of you have seen this exercise, but I'm going to make sure that he's comfortable with the rope around his back. And then I'm going to go around his butt, and I'm going to ask him to turn his head the opposite way and come back to me. Because if my horse runs away, I need them to understand to bend their nose, turn and face, and come back. But as you can tell, I've already prepared him for all these things. I taught him to draw. I taught him to get comfortable with the rope. I taught him to get comfortable with the touch. I got him to get comfortable with leading. And now he's already comfortable with each of the pieces, the rope, the leading, and now he just has to figure out the rest of the puzzle. Good, so he's fighting a little bit, no big deal, but then he's learned to step in towards me. Really good job, buddy. So it's time to get out into the stall. For the first time, I tie up Mama. I got my herded pack of dogs just in case he gets away. My boy Finn there will make sure he's going forward. All the horses on the farm are comfortable with dogs. I think it's really important. And I'm just going to lead him back and forth. You can tell I've left my doors open because I feel really comfortable in the foundation that I gave him. And this didn't take very long. This is just over a course of a couple days. Short, 5-10 minute sessions, a couple times a day. And they learn so quickly. All right, and that's looking really good. He's just leading back and forth down the hall. All right, the dog's around, cats are around, Mama's over there, but he's going away from Mama. He's coming back towards because he's really finding comfort with me. And that all started from the very first session in the pen, learning that when he feels worried, he looks at me, he comes to me, and that's going to release the pressure of the world. And that's what I want. So now here I'm just teaching him to see if he can lower his head, follow that feel down, all right? Because a lot of times when horses feel pressure, they want to think up in their head. That goes up to rear, up to strike, but I'm just teaching him that this pressure down means bring his head down. And so I'm really happy with the progress that we made with little Rafi over the last couple days, and hopefully this helps you all understand a quick insight of how we can get our horses really far along, really quickly, to have a foundation that will set them up for the rest of their lives.